We took a vinyl focused road trip to Denver and attended the Rocky Mountain Record Show. It was our first time going to that, and wow, it was incredible. If you'd like to take a peek and see a few clips from the event, as well as what records I picked up at the show, as well as another record store in Denver, just keep on watching. Hey guys and gals, it's Hannah the Omaha Introvert here for a new video. Chris and I were ready to take a road trip. It was our first of the year, in fact, and we decided to go to Denver and check it out. I had never been to Denver proper before, and it's not really too long of a drive. I think it's like 7 hours, so we just hopped in the car and began our adventure. Anyway, this was a 2-day record show. We only attended the first day and we were blown away just by how organized the show was, and plus there were freebies. They were giving out free Topo Chico sparkling water. I got a free Discogs bag as well as a free record stand. The food trucks were amazing. I really liked the venue. There were a ton of vendors, I think 60 plus. Check it out.
They have like a decked out RV over there with music stuff.
So I think we were digging for a little over 3 hours, from like 9 to noonish, and once I've spent my cash, I'm done. Like, I don't want to have to bust out the credit card and be tempted to keep spending, keep buying. So, you know, I was done at the 3-hour marks. But this was definitely the best show I've been to in terms of organization and overall atmosphere. The vibe was great. Like, all the vendors were set up. There were no stragglers. In terms of finds, I did pretty well too. I wouldn't say it was my most successful show, but I'm really happy with what I bought. I will also say it's only been about a week since we attended the show. On the day that I'm filming this, it's been a week, so I'm still, you know, working my way through this stack. I can only give you my first impressions of many of these, but let's just dig into what I picked up, shall we? So I want to start with this Smashing Pumpkins unofficial bootleg, whatever you want to call it. This is the Gish Sessions, and this was actually on my Juno Records want list online. I'll show you the track listing really quick. And this is on, it said on Discogs, it said purple vinyl, but to me it looks more gray, smokish in color with like kind of a splatter type effect there. Sounds great. I'm really happy with this. I love the Pumpkins. In fact, you can probably see Gish behind me. They are definitely one of my favorite bands of the 90s, and Gish is a standout album for sure. So you'll probably recognize several songs from here: Rhinoceros, Daydream, Tristessa, I Am One. The songs I really enjoyed that I had not really heard before, Smiley, Honey Spider, and By June. So this was just a killer pickup. I'm super stoked about that. I can't wait to listen to it again, in fact. This one I thought I was going to have to buy online because I haven't seen it on my digs. This is Wall of Voodoo's first EP. I think it's their first release, right? So this one. Wall of Voodoo are one of my favorite new wave / post-punk synthy bands of the early 80s. Stan Ridgway's vocal style I really dig. It's kind of weird, kind of nerdy. I'm on board. So you'll see Dark Continent behind me, and I just love this band so much. The Passenger is super creepy, and obviously their brilliant cover of Ring of Fire. There's a few instrumentals on here that I don't necessarily need, but this is strong overall, and this definitely fills a missing hole in the record collection. And this, here's the label, and it did come with this insert. Yeah, I'm really happy to finally own this. I found an original UK press of the UK Sub's second album. This is a solid follow-up to their debut, Another Kind of Blues, which sadly I don't own, but I have been on the lookout. This came with this original insert. And there is actually, or there are recent reissues of their albums, or many of them, and I probably will pick up a reissue of Another Kind of Blues, as well as maybe Diminished Responsibility, but let me know if you've picked up those reissues, how they sound. So compared to the first record, this one perhaps has stronger songwriting. I know some people consider this their best album. I haven't heard all of their albums, but this is excellent. They're kind of like one of those overlooked UK punk bands for whatever reason. I think Charlie Harper is still touring with them. My introduction to them was actually In Action, which maybe wasn't the best place to start. I actually traded that in, but I feel like this is an excellent place to start if you're new. Like, this has the fire for sure. So this was really exciting too. I found this EP from Material Issue and it's called Blockbuster. The price on here, it says $14, but I got it for half off, so it was only $7, and it goes for a lot more than that on Discogs. So it's on Mercury. They do a killer cover of Thin Lizzy's Cowboy Song on this. It's so good. And as you can see, I have the reissue of International Pop Overthrow behind me. I'm a huge fan. I think, I don't know if the documentary has been released, but I really want to see that. And let me know if it's still in the works or if they just didn't get the funding to release it yet. I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, this is like a promo copy. So Material Issue, wonderful power pop band from the 90s with a sad story, unfortunately. TV21. So this is interesting. This was actually a blind buy for me. Anything obscure post-punk, I'm all in, you know? And I got some great ones from the Wax Tracks table. I like the little write-ups they included on the outer sleeve, on all the records they had for sale. This really took me by surprise, though, when I listened to it. This is an excellent, like, Lost album. It really embodies that new wave and post-punk sound so well. And someone compared this to Kilimanjaro by The Teardrop Explodes, Crocodiles by Echo and the Bunnymen, and Script of the Bridge by The Chameleons. So, I mean, obviously all those are top-notch records right there, am I right? So if you like those, I think you will connect with this. Check out the song This Is Zero. I really like that one. So, and also there's an ex-member of the Rosillos, I believe, in this band, but I think this is their only studio album, so that was kind of interesting. And this was only 10 bucks. I took a chance and I'm glad I did. That's not always the case, but in this one it certainly was. Okay, so next we have Lena Lovitch with her debut. This is Stateless, and this one probably isn't super hard to find, but I've been looking for it for a few months. So, like I said, this is her first album, and I just love this album more than Flex, and you'll see Flex behind me over there. This is kind of art pop, early new wave, very quirky. I think I heard the song Lucky Number from a TV show a while ago, but also check out the song Home. Love that. Released in 1979. What a great year for music. In fact, that's probably... it could be my #1 favorite year for music. I also really love 1981, but yeah, this one's on Stiff. So Lena Lovitch. Ooh, next we have a special grail. Actually, this is a rarity. I never thought I would be able to run into this record. This is Rainy Day. So special. So I've covered the Paisley Underground in my Jangle Pop series, and it's I think the 3rd video in that series I did, and I'll leave a link to that video above if you're curious and learning about that whole movement. But to sum it up, this is a Paisley Underground supergroup. So you have members of, let's see, the Dream Syndicate, Bangles, Rain Parade, the 3 O'Clock, etc. And there's covers of Bob Dylan, The Who, Neil Young, Jimi Hendrix, Big Star, Velvet Underground. This is a damn perfect collaboration of covers, gorgeous renditions, and you'll just have to hear these for yourself. Like, I'm not lying, I'm just thrilled to finally own this. a true gem, you know? If you like Susanna Hoffs, she takes the lead vocals, I think on 2 tracks. At least 2 tracks. And Kendra Smith from Opal and Dream Syndicate, she also takes the lead on a few tracks. Just a stunning collaboration. What more can I say? Next we have the Divinals debut. Mark up in Michigan sent me a CD of this months ago, and a CD of that's kind of hard to get. So hi Mark, thank you again. This one has been on my wish list for vinyl, and I'm so glad I found a vinyl copy. This is just like a stellar pop rock album from 1983. I really love the first 3 tracks as well as Take a Chance. LC is really intense. This is an overlooked debut in my opinion. I guess they've been compared to Blondie and the Pretenders, but Christina Amphlett, I think that's her name, she's got her own separate vibe going on, so strong debut right here. I'm glad I found it. I have been all about the lately. In fact, you can see my 2 copies of Soul Mining down there. So I found Infected. Clearly I love Soul Mining. A lot of you recommended this one, but I saw this for a good price and I knew I had to pick it up. Several of you mentioned that you prefer Infected, and this is a band where you want to pay attention to the lyrics. Matt Johnson is quite a storyteller. The lyrics focus on like politics and religion. If you cringe at 80s production, I would encourage you to look past that with this one. It does sound dated, but this is a quality album, and the songs I'm really enjoying are Heartland, Slow Train to Dawn, The Mercy Beat. Here's the inner sleeve lyrics. I think there was only like 1 US pressing out there, like in total, so it's on Epic. At least that's what Discogs was showing. Alright, we're getting to some more good stuff here. So I found an original UK press of In the Flat Field by Bauhaus, and if you're offended, I'm sorry. There is some nudity on the cover there. I was very familiar with this album because I have a CD box set of their studio albums, but I've never seen an original copy, so that's very exciting. Got a good price because of the cover damage, but the vinyl is pretty much near mint. This is like the quintessential goth / post-punk album. Like, can you handle the darkness? This isn't for the faint of heart. I think this was their very first full-length album on 4AD. Am I right or am I wrong? Here is the label. I think the first side of this record is perfect. Oh my god, like Daniel Ash's guitars are brilliant. Steve Albini actually calls this album a masterpiece. I actually saw a copy of Burning on the Inside at the show as well, but I had spent all my money, so I couldn't get it, and it was actually a decent price, but next time, you know. This vendor was there selling items from his personal collection. So original copy of Pylon's Gyrate, and I'm guessing the majority of my audience here is pretty familiar with this album already. This is just like a stone cold classic. It's punchy, jagged, new wavy, punky, dancey, driving bass lines. This has like a lot of Gang of Four and Television influences. Vanessa Briscoe, she just has a killer scream. Like, she can really belt it out. I love this album so much. So yeah, that was my last pickup from the show. Next we went to Twist and Shout, and this store blew me away. It was huge. I actually got to dig through Bruce Brodine's record collection, and if you don't know, Bruce Brodine founded the Not Lame Power Pop label in the 90s, and he sold his 3,500 piece collection to Twist and Shout, and I just happened to be there in Denver when his collection was still available, which was amazing. I couldn't believe my luck. It was like all punk, post-punk, power pop, college rock, some jazz thrown in. So the first one I bought from his collection, Sham 69, Tell Us the Truth, and I actually haven't listened to this one yet, but I have wanted something from Sham 69 for a while now, and I don't know if this is an adequate place to start. It's like half live, half studio, so you'll have to let me know, but it's in the queue to be spun. It's on Sire. And this one was very exciting for me as well. It's the Throwing Muses debut, and I've wanted this for such a long time. It has not been easy to find. I remember Homer's did like a flip video a few months ago, but I was too late in getting dibs. Certainly one of the best college rock bands of the 80s and 90s. The first American band to be released on 4AD, in fact, and this is such an interesting and somewhat unsettling blend of folk and punk. It's like chaotic but satisfying. But I just love Throwing Muses. I love this album, University, and The Real Ramona. Like, those are probably my favorites. So it's so cool to have this, you know, finally find a copy. And this is neat because, well, here's the label, 4AD, but it also came, and I don't know if all early copies came with this, but it has like this whole booklet type situation going on here with album reviews and some very interesting write-ups. And then on this back it has like quotes from different publications of, you know, kind of giving a quick review of Throwing Muses and this album. So, a strikingly original band. The Muses sound is all of their own, a completely original sound which is absolutely untrendy. Cleverly crafted pop and folk. If a group this young has so much talent, watch out. So, and it just goes on and on. So I thought that was a really neat addition with the album. I also picked up their follow-up, House Tornado, on CD. The record was there in Bruce's collection, but that album, like, I'm really not familiar with it, so I opted for the CD version, and I saved like $12 or so. So, got that, and this unofficial CD, this is all conned mods by The Jam. If you've watched my channel, like, I think of The Jam very highly. Like, incredible musicianship. I love Paul Weller, so I haven't been collecting their 45s or anything, but I have all of their studio albums, some EPs and 12 inches. This fits right into my collection. This is kind of like a hodgepodge of stuff. I'll kind of let you see the back there. The track listing. So some of it's live from 1980 and 1978, and it has some studio alternates, not on the box set, and live on Tom Snyder's Tomorrow Show. So that was a really cool find for, I think it was $6. Then I found a really cheap Fall 12-inch. So this is the Mr. Pharmacist 12-inch by The Fall with Lucifer over Lancashire. And I'm kind of to the point where I'm collecting almost anything by The Fall if I can afford it, and this is $5. Reason being is that, you know, the cover's kind of messed up. But that was awesome to pick up. My introduction to The Fall actually was A-sides, and I feel like that's a pretty solid place to begin your fall journey because their catalog is really overwhelming and you may not know where to start. I'd suggest you start there like I did. Okay, and lastly, at Twist and Shout, I picked up, now Lush's studio albums have been reissued to vinyl just recently. Oh my god, this is much overdue. I have originals of Gala, you can see that behind me, as well as an original of Spooky. This is one I really wanted, so yeah, this is the one I wanted the most, and I'm so glad I got Split, and this one is on black vinyl. I didn't even know it was going to be on black vinyl. I thought it was just going to be one of the clear versions. But yeah, here's the inner sleeve and the back cover. So Lush were just so magical. It's like perfect 90s dreamy pop, heavenly vocals. There's so many good songs off of this. I think their single or the most well-known song is Desire Lines, but there's so many other good ones. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get the Love Life reissue yet because that's kind of an era I'm not in love with the most, I guess, but I prefer their earlier stuff, and great reissue. Alright, so those are my pickups from the trip. We also went hiking in the Arapahoe National Forest and checked out some mountain towns like Frisco and Georgetown. We checked out a record store in Frisco, but the prices were insane for what I would consider to be like very common records. And we also checked out a store called Paradise Found in Boulder, which I try not to use the term hipsters, but yeah. They had a used new arrival section we browsed through, but I didn't find anything, and a lot of new reissues as well. There were tons of people in there when we went. I'm trying to think what day we went. I think it was like Saturday evening. So in 2.5 days, we covered a lot. If you liked this video, please let me know. I am still prepping for that Grails video coming soon. It's like the year of the Grails, like I said, and my collection is bursting at the seams. I need help. Bye.